The opioid epidemic has had a long timeline throughout history, but in recent years, there has been an increase in problems. The opioid epidemic is the abuse of prescription opioids and non-prescription opioids. Certain actions have made it worse throughout the last 20 years. In the late 1990s, a pharmaceutical company named Purdue Pharma produced a drug called Oxycontin. Purdue Pharma advertised the opioid all over the U.S., telling prescribers and consumers that their product was not addictive. Then the drug was used rapidly in hospitals over other pain medications for about 11 years. And then researchers discovered that Oxycontin was actually an addictive opioid. Purdue Pharma falsely advertised this drug as a non-addictive pain medication for over a decade. They were sued in 2007. Many people got addicted to opioids within that period of time due to overprescription of this opioid. To this day, this drug is still prescribed for management of pain, but it has more regulations. Strict regulations make it more difficult to be overly prescribed opioids outside the hospital. But what about in the hospital? In 2009, the Affordable Care Act for America was passed. It allowed Medicare and Medicaid to add an HCAP survey, also known as the Patient Satisfaction Survey. If you didn't know, Medicare and Medicaid are the main payers for hospitals in the United States. This survey is sent to patients after being discharged. 3 questions relate to pain management. Question 14 specifically states how often the hospital providers do everything in their power to treat your pain. The question can lower HCAP scores and therefore lower the Medicare and Medicaid payment to the hospitals based on the overall HCAP scores. If they are low, hospitals receive less money, but if they are high, hospitals receive more money. When patients are in the hospital and are excessively medicated for pain management, they can become addicted. Upon discharge from the hospital, they are only prescribed enough medication until they see their primary care provider. Due to stricter regulations, some primary care providers may be reluctant to prescribe more pain medication. This can cause people addicted to medication to start buying medication off the streets. If the person isn't able to afford it, prescription opioids anymore, this could lead them to buy more cheaper opioids like heroin, which is a highly dangerous and addictive drug. On May 4th, 2018, my mother received surgery on her shoulder. It was a minor surgery to shave down a few bone spurs in her shoulder that were rubbing against her collarbone, causing severe pain. This also strained her bicep and tore it, so they also had to put that back together. After the surgery, she met the requirements to go home. Before she left, the hospital was prescribed a necessary amount of Vicodin tablets, 60. The pharmacy that we usually go to didn't have all 60 in stock, so they gave her only 52 tablets. They also gave her heroin. Whoa. They also gave her an ice pack machine. Gave her that helped her heal her shoulders. That was the alternative to treat her pain. She barely took any pain medication, and she went back to work 10 days later on May 14th. On National Prescription Take-Back Day, my mother will dispose of the excess pills and give them to the hospital. Auto Program is a program that was made to find alternatives to opioids. It focuses on 5 types of pain: kidney stones, sciatica, acute headache and migraines, back pain, shoulder pain, fractures, and dislocations. The medications that are chosen are not opioids. These medications work well on the receptor sites and numb the pain without addiction. They relieve the pain through different types of therapy as well. The Auto Program believes that if you're going to take pain medications, patients must be informed of the risk before taking them. Patients need to know how addictive a medication is prior to taking it. This can be the future of pain management in hospitals if alternative treatments for pain management can be embraced. In summary, the medical community and patient population have to come to the realization that opioids are not always the answer to managing one's pain. Alternative treatments have been developed and have been proven to work and must be embraced by all to help battle the ongoing crisis. Thank you for your time.